Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric here with Iraq Veteran 8888. We got another body armor test for you today. As many of you know, we've covered body armor in a lot of different videos over the years, and this video is no different, but we always like to approach body armor review from basically a specific purpose. Like, we try to take a certain concept with the firearm we use and approach it in kind of a somewhat real-world scenario. So what we're going to be talking about today is DMRs a little bit. We've got an SPR inspired DMR AR right here that we're going to be using. We've also got an M1A and 308. Chad did a video recently on his M1A that he's decked out a bit. Very nice rifle. What happens when you wear a body armor and you get shot at with the DMR? Okay, now this may not necessarily equate to something to many of you, but you have to consider in a battlefield environment, if you're a soldier who's wearing body armor or whatever, what happens when these precise rifles hit you at long range? Now, it really just comes down to the caliber, right? So we know that XM193, M855, M80 ball, that's what a lot of these plates are designed to stop. Now, the armor that we're going to be shooting today is a very new style of armor. This is available from Spartan Armor Systems. This is their Armaply. This particular one is a level 3+. This one has what's called their swimmer's cut, and it's an extreme high hardness steel plate. It has their advanced triple curve technology. It's a very specific way that they bend this plate to get a nice ergonomic feel of the plate when you're wearing it. The deep cuts on the side, the swimmer's cuts as they call them, they are designed for the maximum amount of comfort, concealment, and mobility, okay? So this is the type of plate that you could expect really anybody who wants a good set of AR-500 type armor to be wearing. It has a very good anti-spalling capability to it. Basically, the jacket splashes are captured by the plate when it impacts the plate. We've got ballistic bob back here kind of rigged up a bit, and what we've got is these bits of 2x6s on the side and top a little bit here, so that if any if the spalling gets out from the anti-spalling coating, hopefully these boards will catch it. That's why we don't have the plate in the carrier, because we want to show how well that anti-spalling coating works with this particular plate. It's a very robust plate. They're pretty strong. We've shot them before. This is nothing new to you guys, but we always like to kind of, put a spin on things. So I'm going to run 3 rounds of XM193, 55 grain, 3 rounds of M855, 62 grain. Okay, that's the green tip stuff. And we've done some chronograph work earlier. They are moving pretty fast out of this 18-inch barrel. We've done some testing before with shorter barrels, but with a shorter barrel, you lose a little bit of velocity. So we stepped it up to the 18-inch barrel. And then, of course, the longer barrel on the M1A is getting some pretty nasty velocity. So we're going to play around with them, shoot them at close range. Then we're going to back up to DMR range and lob some in and try to shoot a whole bunch in one area and see if we can break through that plate. We're going to get after the testing here. We did some velocity testing earlier with the XM193 and the M855. And guys, that stuff is getting down out of an 18-inch barrel. It's moving pretty fast. We got a lot of foot-pounds of energy going down range. We're only about 20 feet away. This is worst case scenario. You turn a corner, there's a guy with a DMR. Maybe he was on his way to, I don't know, sneak up on top of the roof, and he caught you in the process, and he's going to engage you with his SPR from 20 feet. What would happen? All right. We're going to fire 3 shots per ammo type first, XM193, 55 grain. Then we're going to go M855, 62 grain, green tip. I'm going to put them in kind of some quadrants so we can kind of see the damage from each one. .62. You can really hear that thing smack it. And guys, this is very close. Let's have a look. All right, we came over here and buzzed out our screws. It looks like the plate did its job. I put those rounds pretty much right where I wanted. I pulled one a little bit low and it clipped the edge of the plate kind of near the edge, and it deflected and went into the torso. Okay, so that was my fault. However, that's one interesting thing to note though. In a real world scenario, you don't know where you're going to get shot. I mean, that's just the nature of it. I mean, if the round were an inch lower, it would have missed the plate. So all in all, the rounds did their job. Anti-spalling coating did its job. All the jacket splashes were caught. There's a little bit of jacket splash that seems to escape, barely. It's not even really poking in the wood. It's more like just fragments from like powdered metal. From when the projectile hits that plate and it just disintegrates. There's little bits of powdered metal, but no actual jacket fragments. One thing about these, when you're wearing them inside of a carrier and the plate gets hit, the carrier helps to contain a lot of that stuff as well. But we wanted to show it out of the carrier just to show you exactly what you're getting with something like this. That's not so bad. We're going to strap her back in place and hit her with the M1A with some M80 ball, 147 grain. Let's see what that does to it out of an M1A. All right, so same test, except this time we're going to run M80 ball out of an M1A with a 22-inch barrel from about 20 feet away. If you turn a corner and the guy like this is pointing this gun at you, you probably need to reconsider your path in life. But if you do find yourself in that situation, what would happen? That sounded like it hurt. Let's have a look. I have to say, guys, you can color me impressed. All right, that coating actually just made its way off of the plate in its entirety by the time the third shot came around. Our plate was sitting a little bit low, but look at that. It ate every single one of those M80 ball rounds. I was a little bit skeptical, to be honest with you. At that distance, a 22-inch barrel, 147 grain M80 coming out of it, I had my doubts, but it contained the spalling. You don't really see a lot of jacket splash. There's a little bit right here. It's very, very superficial. I believe that would have been caught by the carrier. And guys, remember, we've already hit it with 6 rounds of 5.56. So that's 6 rounds of 5.56 out of an 18-inch barrel, and then our 3 rounds of 308. But I tell you what, we're going to play a wild card. Since this plate is toast, how about a Lehigh Defense Control Chaos 110 grain moving at about 31.72? Guys, that thing is getting down. We're going to break back, shoot it again, and then after that, we're going to get on some fresh plates, back off to 400 yards, have a little fun, see what these DMRs will do at long range. Let's do it. This is very worst case scenario. Well then, let's get in close, shall we? See what happened. Well guys, there's a reason that we chose that 110 grain Control Chaos. Based on the velocity that it's traveling, it has roughly 1,000 foot-pounds of energy more than the M855 and XM193 do out of the 18-inch BCM rig that we built there. So you're getting a lot more foot-pounds of energy. You've got equal speed. So anytime that we're doubling the mass at roughly the same speed, that's going to make this armor have a much harder job of overcoming that guy is moving. Okay, that thing is getting down. Now, this plate was rather animated when we struck it. In fact, to the degree where it surprised me a good bit. We didn't really have it, you know, screwed down or anything, but it stopped it. Okay, now there definitely, as you can see, the way that thing flew, there definitely was some kinetic energy transfer there that would not be pleasant. Okay, you wouldn't want to be shot with that. It'd probably still knock the breath out of you, might even break a rib. You still get a lot of energy. Your body still has to stop the bullet. Just because you're wearing the armor doesn't mean you still don't have to stop it. It just means that the energy is transferred over the entire surface area of the plate against your body, as opposed to it just going right through you and making a huge bloody mess. So that's an interesting result. I'm actually very surprised. All of us are. I thought that 110 was going to scream right through it. Nothing that we've shot at this today is armor piercing rated, because that's not really what the plate is rated for, but we are going to break out for fun, and we're going to get one clean plate and we're going to pelt the crap out of it with a variety of different rounds and just see what happens from way up there on the hill. Let's do it. All right, we're going to back off in the kind of scenario that you would expect if, let's just say, long way away, somebody with an AR. Okay, have a little fun here. We're going to run 20 rounds. 10 rounds of XM193, 10 rounds of M855, starting with 55, going up to 62 grain. So we're 400 meters away. Gotcha. About 2 minutes.
got it. Bring the point of aim to the left about half a minute. Got it. Touch low. Low. There you go. Bring it up just a little bit. Bring it up. Yep. Alright. You're about 3 minutes to the right. Bring it up about another half minute.
Wrong way, huh?
Yeah, that was a little bit high and left, up there by his shoulder. Wow, that ammo just doesn't shoot very good.
No, it doesn't.
You were right on that one.
That one was high.
That one was way up there on the berm. Low and left. Elevation is good, but it hit about foot right. Low left.
Yeah, this ammo's all over the dang place.
That was right off the edge of the plate on the right side, good elevation.
All right, well, that first string there was not very impressive at all. That ammo was not what we would consider the most consistent in the world. We stepped up to a 60 grain Nosler. This is a hunting load. This is a hand load that Chad's put together running around 2950 feet per second. So it's definitely getting down. It's a hot 60 grain Nosler. This should shoot a little bit more consistently. And we'll see if we can't get some hits on the plate and then step up to M80 ball out of the M1A. Here we go. Yep.
Just left, Eric. Elevation's perfect. Got it. Good. Oh yeah. Stacking them in there. Little low. Oh yeah. Good.
Man, it is amazing what good ammunition can do to make a difference. Hopefully we stack some rounds in there with some pretty good regularity, good group size. We'll go down there and inspect the damage in a moment. First, let's pelt it with a couple of rounds of M80, get after it.
A little high and right, Eric. Elevation's good. You're about a minute off the right edge. Got it. Just high and right. Low left. Just off the edge of the plate. Low right off the edge of the plate, running the same issue as the M80.
Yes, we are.
Got it. Just low under the plate. Got it.
All right, well, that's a pretty impressive result. We saw that at close range, both of those rifles were stopped by this plate. This is one of the lightest plates on the market that actually does the job that it does in particular. This is a 6.6 pound plate, so nice lightweight. We got several Nosler 60 grain hits, SS109, M855, XM193, M80 ball. It ate everything. Not a single thing made it through. We knew that going into it, that this was probably going to happen. Pretty interesting thing to note. A lot of our misses, you can see, struck right through the wood. We had one miss that went straight through a 2x6, long ways, wide ways. So through all of that pine right there, that's a very interesting result to see that projectile and just how much more powerful it is. It's very powerful even at longer range, so it's definitely nothing to sneeze at. That's an interesting result. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching. Make sure, if you guys want, there's a discount code in the description box below. If you happen to, buy any of this armor, use that code and you can get 15% off. Definitely not a bad deal. This stuff's kind of pricey, although very high quality, so 15% can equate to a pretty good bit of money. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Guys, we have a lot of awesome stuff on the way. We'll see you soon. Thanks again.